Hello, and welcome to another video on the Double D's channel. I'm Robo Duke, that is your first D.
D-Nice, second D.
Boom. And we're here with the very first episode of something similar, but also a little different to something we do on this channel. This is our first retro reaction video.
T-U-R-T-L-E power, T-U-R-T-L-E power, T-U-R-T-L-E power, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on a half shell where the hero is born.
Okay. We get it. I think they get it. We watched...
Zero rapping zone, apparently.
No rapping zone. There's not enough time. We'll let you. You can do it at the end.
Okay.
Because you got to do it at the end, because that is the song that plays in the ending credits of the 1990 classic. That's right. I'm calling this a classic. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm calling it the Jim Henson's classic.
Yes, because Jim Henson and his workshop were responsible for all the costumes in this movie. That's right. Movies used to have costumes. And didn't use computer-generated motion-capturing men in suits lumbering about New York City.
And I will say, quite good costumes, too.
Yeah.
Like, I watched it last week on my giant television, and when I came to the Keats today, the Robo-Dukes...
Yeah. Also known as Keith, in case you didn't know, but I'm sure most of you watching know that.
Yeah. He had it on, and I'm watching, and I'm like, it still looks good. Like, the costumes are still good. There is still a guy in this suit doing these flips, and it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, there are some moments where going between, since they had, they probably had more than two suits, but there were performance suits for the martial arts, and then the suits for the audio animatronics and the faces when they had big dialogue scenes. And you can notice the difference, but I still think it looks great. And I think a bit of this coming from us is a bit through rose-tinted glasses, as they would say, because this movie holds a very special place in my heart. Yes, I did watch it this morning, but I watch this movie at least once a year, because I think it's great. I think it stands up, which is something our Retro Reaction is going to be all about, is watching older things and seeing if they still stand up. So
a lot of things don't stand up.
A lot of things don't.
But this does.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into some things that don't stand up, and probably some things we may have even forgotten about.
I forgot about this movie. That's why I wanted to start this whole thing. I listened to a podcast. They're getting ready for the Michael Bay Turtles, and they're talking about all the old ones. And I was like, I have not watched that in years. Let me go back to it.
Yeah. So you picked up the Blu-ray, actually. They have a nice little 3-pack.
3-pack Blu-ray.
We're not going to get into 2 and 3. We're just going to focus on number 1 for this video.
I like 2 and 3, though. It's just my statement.
I haven't gone back to watch 2 and 3 since I was little.
Once again, that might just be my nostalgia saying that.
Yeah. I even back then, I wasn't a huge fan of the third one.
The third one's my favorite one.
I remember liking the second one.
I love the third one.
Oh, man.
Everyone's like, how can you like the third one? Because simple. Leonardo and Raphael actually use their weapons. Because they're facing other guys with Sharpie pointy objects.
True, but then he does just chop the guy's hair off with the... Anyway, I said we weren't talking about that movie. But this is a very turtle-y week, so if we get sidetracked by other turtle talk...
It's okay. As long as we keep it in the turtle family.
Yes, we've got to keep it in the turtle family of movies. And this movie is something I grew up with and, like I said, watch every year. So I think I'm a bit biased on how much I love this movie. But I love, as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate more of the finer things in film. And the fact that this movie has a texture to it, a visual, gritty, gross, slimy texture to it. Like, this is a gross New York that hasn't existed in over 20 years.
It's true. It is definitely true.
It captures that late 70s, 80s, the New York people used to be scared to go to because they think they would get robbed on any corner. And this movie plays on that with the plot of people robbing everyone and New York not being a safe place to be.
Speaking of which, now that you mention that, you know what this movie kind of makes me feel like? It makes me feel like they're in Gotham City. The original Batman, Gotham City.
Yeah, I think Gotham City is a archetype of New York, a copy of New York, so Yeah, no, it definitely gives that feeling. I wouldn't have been surprised to see Batman swinging by in the background in this New York City, because it is very dark, and there were actually some people saying the Blu-rays look brighter than the original cuts of the movie.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I haven't gone back to look. No, I think it's just because it's so much clearer. I think it's not a CRTV, it's not your old VHS.
When when the Turtles are first introduced and they first save April, I was told that it's so bright you can see what's happening. You can see the Turtles fighting.
Why? When they first... At the van?
And that's what I was curious myself about. I watched it and I was like, no, the screen's pitch black. I don't know. That person must have had their, like, brightness turned all the way up if they thought that they saw the Turtles.
There was anything in that scene, because the whole gag of that scene is that it goes dark and comes back on and they're all tied up.
So...
Which, something a lot of people may not know, is that Mr. Sam Rockwell is in this movie.
Yes, that is.
And he's in that opening scene as well.
Yes, he's the one that talks to April.
Yeah, he's one of the only gang members in the movie, which I always think is a great plot line of the sort of, like, culling the youth into their clan, as it were, by giving them whatever they want. It's very sort of Pinocchio, you know, the island, like... You expect to see Lampwick there, which... Kids smoking cigars! You don't see that in movies anymore.
Oh my god, kids just gambling, smoking cigars. I mean, like...
Handing out cigarettes to these children, Sam Rockwell does.
Giant cigars in, like, a 6-year-old's mouth. It just cracks me up when I see it.
Yeah, it's something you don't see anymore, because smoking is bad.
Like, I'm surprised this movie... Like, and I guess that's why you never see this movie on anything. It's not on AMC,
really?
Not on HBO, nothing. This movie is nowhere.
Underappreciated classic, because it shouldn't still stand up. You know, like the original Turtles cartoon, which these Turtles are very similar to. They're more lighthearted and kind of...
As we can see them
we brought them along this time. And but there is a darkness to the movie. They're not as goofy as... the other ones are, but still, the fight scenes all have, like, goofy music in the background.
Yeah. I mean, not as bad as the second and third one. The second and third one, I mean, Michelangelo doesn't even use his nunchucks in the second one. He uses combat cold cuts. He takes his salami.
In that opening scene.
Yeah, it's...
Which is super goofy.
They get really bad in the sequels, but...
Kino. Bringing Kino in there, the pizza delivery boy. Which I have a question. This didn't befuddle me until I was older. And I'm just like, wow. Like, yeah. The Ninja Turtles, right? They live in New York City.
Yes.
Right? The home of some of the best pizza on the planet.
Yes.
Perhaps the birthplace of American pizza.
Okay.
And yet they order Domino's? Like, really? I understand corporate sponsorship in movies, but man, they have bad taste in pizza.
Well, your local mom and pop isn't going to give you, like, $20 million to make a movie.
No, but it makes me sad that apparently they don't appreciate good pizza according to these movies.
Okay.
I got a thing for pizza, I'm sorry.
He does.
Which the Turtles are probably responsible for.
Actually, you know what? There we go. We can now blame 80s cartoons for brainwashing. There we go. You have been brainwashed.
Yep. I've been brainwashed into loving pizza by these fools in colorful masks. It's all their fault that I love.
Not you,
so
Bumblebee. You're cool.
Good. He's good. I wasn't a big Transformers guy. Ninja Turtles was my jam, and when this movie came out,
Ninja Turtles over Transformers.
Yeah,
and G.I. Joe. Sorry, fans.
I mean, I'm not the only one who was introduced to the word "damn" really by this movie, and just learned how versatile it is. Damn! Like how good of a word it is. Speaking of, you pointed out, since Dennis came over as I was finishing the movie, Raphael says bitchin'.
Yes.
At the end of the movie when they're trying to come up with
when they're trying to come up with, like, I guess, like, their best saying for their fight. And he's like, bitchin'! He even does that too. Like, he stands up straight, bitchin'! It's
never
funny.
noticed that's what he said. I just never understood it. I remember as a kid, I wrote down quotes from this movie I was in 2nd or 3rd grade, I think. I wrote quotes down to this movie in my Ninja Turtles folder. Like, even though I had no idea what a Chevy Nova was, I was writing down, like, Chevy Nova? Chevy Nova?
This movie is so quotable. We could have an entire video cast just of quoting this movie.
I was quoting it as I watched it. Some of my favorite lines are even like April lines in the movie. I think her delivery is great. There's a lot of haters out there on this April. I think she was a fox. I think she looks great in this movie. I love that movie. But when she says, I wouldn't ask for your help if you were the last thing on this planet, is great delivery. She's so sassy.
So sassy.
She's so sassy, and I think Miss Megan Fox is not going to cut the mustard or cut the pizza in this instance.
Oh, the pizza.
But we'll see how we react to that in another video. But this one, every reaction is good. I feel like, you can go back and watch movies from your childhood, they don't stand up, but every time I watch it, I love it.
There's nothing bad I can say about this.
No.
The only, not bad, but the only, thing I will say is Shredder is Shredder. Yes, that's my New York accent. Shredder is not as imposing as you would expect him to be.
Not until the very end.
No, when you first see him and he's got the cape and he's walking, his theme song is awesome. And that's when you're like, this is a badass dude.
Well, I always felt like where Tatsu's taking the things off, he's doing it so delicately on his cape, because those things are sharp, man. He will shred you to bits. And
Shredder actually goes and fights the turtles, that's when I'm like, you don't look imposing. You just look like a skinny Asian dude.
Hey, Bruce Lee was a skinny Asian dude.
With giant spikes that are probably throwing you off balance.
In a glittery purple suit.
When I was a kid, I was like, oh my god, it's awesome. But as an adult, I guess I'm an adult, I was like...
Yes.
I mean, these are giant turtles. Don't get me wrong, he whoops their asses.
Yeah, which as a kid was always very surprising that these guys who had fought their way through this movie. There are some serious moments when those foot soldiers have the axes. I could have sworn they were going to get chopped up the floor. That's where the movie takes a serious turn. Definitely right there, but the Shredder fight is, man. Splinter saving the day, always one of the best moments ever. Having him just show up.
After just recently watching The Karate Kid, I feel like the Turtles copies a lot of The Karate Kid.
I was thinking that, actually thinking about The Karate Kid in the scenes where the foot soldiers are training. That's because karate, it became a really big thing in the 60s, 70s with Bruce Lee and everything, but in the, schools with the padding and, that kind of sense of karate in the 80s and early 90s was really popular, so, yeah, no, it definitely drew some things from Karate Kid, totally. It was
I feel like Splinter's definitely, a Miyagi-style character, where, if you think about it, Miyagi could, do no wrong in The Karate Kid. Every time he got into a fight, he won.
Yeah.
Hands down, he won. And I feel like Splinter's the same way.
Yeah. I don't know if ninjas... I guess... I don't know if karate is as popular. I took karate lessons as a kid. Did you?
Oh, of course I did.
Yeah. A lot.
For, 6 years I did.
80s, 90s kids, man, taking karate lessons.
80s, 90s kids.
Totally 80s, 90s kids if you took karate lessons back in the day, which was probably, once again, because of these fools running around doing things.
And then after we were done with school, what'd you do? Go get pizza! Actually, I did. There's a pizza place right next to my karate place.
I wish I could find it. We went and met Michelangelo, a guy in a costume, because they had, a meet at a supermarket when I was a kid. It was a Half-Mark.
We don't do now in America.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we don't experience because we don't have kids.
But the thing is, now you can just go to Times Square and meet a Ninja Turtle because they're all dressed up there.
Meet a crackhead Ninja Turtle?
No, they're dressed up like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, they're not the best costumes.
No, but they're there though.
And Elmo with one eye looking off in one direction,
lazy-eyed Elmo.
Lazy-eyed Elmo in Times Square. Man, New York sure has changed. You see none of that in this movie.
Yes, it has. It's much cleaner now.
Yeah. Such a great movie.
Much cleaner.
Casey Jones, one of the best characters. I'm glad he got some representation in this movie because he doesn't in 2 or 3.
Oh, he's in 3. Be quiet.
He's in 3 hanging out with Splinter in the base.
Be quiet.
And he's not going
to. And he even says it. His first line is, "It would be my complete honor to sit here and watch you." So he knows what's up.
Watching Splinter.
He knows what's up.
That's what takes the forefront. Gotta guard Splinter.
He knows what's up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if he actually wanted to get some lessons, I'm sure Splinter would totally teach him some moves.
Which I think is something missing from this movie. Like, they don't... I mean, a lot of the other things, doesn't Casey, like, train with the Turtles? Or at least in some of the newer things at all?
Never know. April does.
Oh, yeah, in the new...
TMNT? She was trained by Splinter.
Okay.
But Casey's always been a brawler. He's always been a brawler.
Yeah.
Which is better. I'd rather have 4 ninjas and a brawler than 6 ninjas when they have April learn.
Yeah. He's super badass in this movie as a kid who didn't want to run around. Like, did you not try to get a bag and, like, wrap it over your shoulder and, like, stuff sticks in it and be like, I'm Casey Jones with, like, your Jason Halloween mask running around?
Seiko Bat, tell me you didn't pay money for this.
You know, a lot of those, like, to me, those are funny. Like, I feel like it stands up, but I think, like, a little kid nowadays isn't going to know, like, Wayne Gretzky on steroids. Who's Wayne Gretzky?
So many things
Not a lot. I think a lot of it all comes from Mikey, though. It comes from Mikey or Don, voiced by Corey Feldman, Donatello, the one, like, super famous person to do a voice. Because all the other Turtles make small appearances in the movie, which is something cool you notice. Nowadays, looking at IMDb.
And it's strange that Corey Feldman does not.
Yeah.
Well, no, you said he does. He's the one that follows them.
No. I think that's the guy in the suit.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the guy in the suit, not the voice
Gotcha.
actor. I think Corey Feldman was the only one of the performers who didn't do the voice. Because the guy who was in the Leonardo suit for the performance parts, Michelangelo and Raphael, do the voices. So in the scene where Raphael is chasing Casey Jones and rolls over the taxi cab, that's Raphael in the back seat of the taxi cab.
I think that was a giant turtle just rolled over my cab. So we're going to LaGuardia, right?
And he's just like, what the hell was that? And then Michelangelo is the pizza delivery guy for Domino's.
Which is funny.
So, because he's having dialogue with himself, which is my... Let's get down to it. We got off track a little bit, but that's okay. This is how much we love the Ninja Turtles. What's your favorite scene in this movie? Because mine is Michelangelo and Donatello's talk under the sewer grate in the moonlight. About it being, nice night. Pizza Jude's got 30 seconds. So that's my favorite scene.
I think my favorite scene is when Casey Jones and Donatello are having their back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
When they're working on the truck. Which I, until this viewing, did not realize they were going in alphabetical order.
Yeah. It's like, you think they're just making fun of each other and throwing names back and forth, but they're actually playing
Because he calls him, like, Baldy at one point. No, he calls him Chrome Dome.
Yep, Chrome Dome.
And then at one point, Donatello goes, what letter are we on? And I never realized that they were going in alphabetical order.
Yeah, they're playing a little game of insult each other.
That was their coping mechanism.
Yeah, Gack Face and Hose Brain. Yeah, that part always got me. Like, I think I said earlier, that's a good flow to the movie. That's a nice down part. And the interesting thing is a lot of the good stuff in this movie is the dialogue. The action's okay, but the dialogue is where this movie really shines, and the characters. And I think another movie, the one coming out, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, is going to pull a bit from that. But we'll get into that in our instant reaction video to that movie.
Come back and you'll hear about that.
Yeah, come back and
for those who haven't watched the movie, we'll tell you all the things that are similar or not similar.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen this one, and you plan on seeing the new one, watch this one first. Or at least watch it after you see the new one and give this a chance.
Just watch it.
Just watch it.
Just watch it.
Just watch it. Actually, just made me realize it'll be the 25th anniversary of that movie next year.
Wow. They couldn't wait a year? Just saying.
Yeah, that would have been really good.
That's
Timing
weird
of the synchronicity.
They didn't wait. That's weird.
Yeah, but well, we'll see what happens next year. Who knows what kind of turtle business might come up. You never know. Could be another sequel to this one. So, until then, make sure to subscribe to the channel, especially if you like the video. Give us a thumbs up. We always appreciate the thumbs up. Comment, have you seen the movie? Do you like the movie? Are you going to watch the movie? Whatever.
Are you a Turtles fan?
Are you a Turtles fan?
Are you?
Do you like the Ninja Turtles? Do you like ninjas? Do you just like turtles? Perhaps you just like mutants. Or maybe you're a teenager. But
I think that's all 4 words thrown in there.
I think we got them all.
I think we got them all.
Or maybe you're just a big rat.
Maybe you just like pizza.
Maybe you just like pizza.
Maybe you like Domino's. Who knows?
Hey,
or Pizza Hut.
Whatever. I'm not going to judge.
Or your local mom and pop pizzeria.
Just enjoy pizza
any way you like it.
Yeah. Until then, you can finish the turtle song now.
Turtle. power, T-U-R-T-L-E power, T-U-R-T-L-E power, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. On a half shell with a hero.
Catch you guys next
time. This day and age, who can ask for more? The crown weighs high with Mugger's mysterious